In an era where countless individuals are pausing to sense the subtle shifts in our shared reality, there's a growing awareness that the world might be entering a phase of profound introspection. It's not uncommon for people to wonder if the challenges we face are isolated incidents or part of a larger tapestry of meaning, one that draws from timeless wisdom. This quiet curiosity isn't driven by fear, but by a natural human desire to understand our place in the unfolding story of existence. As we begin to explore this, many are turning to ancient texts for guidance, recognizing that they offer frameworks for navigating uncertainty with grace and purpose. Many scholars believe that writings from antiquity, such as those found in the Book of Revelation and the prophetic books of the Old Testament, described recurring patterns of societal change and spiritual realignment. Some spiritual interpreters suggest these aren't rigid blueprints for catastrophe, but rather reflections on how communities have historically encountered moments of moral and ethical reevaluation. For example, in Christian thought, passages from Daniel often highlight seasons of confusion followed by clarity, emphasizing the importance of steadfastness. In Jewish traditions, the major prophets address times of collective wandering, where the call is for renewal through justice and wisdom. And within Islamic teachings, references to the signs of the last days serve as prompts for inner purification and ethical living. According to certain interpretations, these elements share a common thread: the idea that periods of global crisis can act as catalysts for deeper awareness, encouraging us to look beyond the surface and seek a more grounded perspective on life. As we consider what is happening in the world today, it's evident that we're dealing with a web of interconnected issues, shifts in values, growing divisions, and a pervasive sense of unease that affects everyday decisions. Many feel that this isn't merely a string of unfortunate events, but a collective invitation to foster discernment in the face of ambiguity. Some suggest that the current global crisis reflects a broader struggle with misinformation and moral ambiguity, where the rapid pace of change makes it hard to hold on to what's truly significant. Yet, this challenge isn't without its silver lining. It's an opportunity for spiritual awakening, a moment to reassess and realign our lives with principles that endure. Biblical prophecy, when viewed through this lens, often points to the potential for restoration, reminding us that such times have always been opportunities for growth rather than endpoints of despair. Delving further, it's helpful to think about how these ancient insights apply to our personal journeys. Many people are experiencing a quiet prompting to examine their own beliefs and actions, recognizing that the external world often mirrors internal landscapes. According to some interpreters of End Times Explained, this era encourages a shift from reactive living to proactive reflection, where individuals actively seek to cultivate wisdom amid the noise. For instance, in exploring themes from ancient prophecy, we see an emphasis on building resilience through community and self-examination, helping us navigate the complexities of modern life with a sense of calm resolve. This isn't about predicting specific outcomes, but about embracing the process of discovery, where faith and hope become anchors in turbulent waters. Now let's turn to the broader implications. Across various traditions, there's a recognition that humanity has faced similar crossroads before, each time emerging with lessons that shape future generations. Many scholars of biblical prophecy note that these texts weren't intended as sources of dread, but as guides for enduring hope, illustrating how adversity can lead to collective enlightenment. In this light, the signs of the end times might be seen as gentle nudges toward a more intentional existence, prompting us to address underlying issues like ethical erosion and the loss of shared purpose. Some spiritual perspectives argue that this is a time for re-evaluation, where societies can choose paths of unity and compassion, transforming potential discord into opportunities for harmony. But what does this mean on a deeper level? it's worth considering how these patterns influence our daily interactions and decisions. Many believe that the confusion of our times stems from a disconnection from core values, and addressing this requires a commitment to personal growth. For example, in Christian contexts, the messages of Revelation often underscore the value of perseverance, while Jewish prophetic writings stress the pursuit of righteousness as a response to societal ills. Islamic views on the signs of the last days similarly advocate for a return to foundational principles, fostering a sense of accountability. Together, these ideas suggest that what is happening in the world is less about inevitable decline and more about a call to awaken to our potential for positive change, encouraging us to build bridges rather than walls. At the core of this discussion is the question of discernment. How can we develop the insight to see beyond the immediate? Many interpreters emphasize that spiritual awakening involves cultivating a habit of reflection where we pause to consider the deeper meanings behind events. This isn't a passive exercise, it's an active pursuit that can lead to greater clarity and purpose. Some suggest that by engaging with these ancient teachings, we equip ourselves to handle uncertainty with wisdom, turning what might feel overwhelming into a source of strength. Faith and hope in this context serve as vital tools, helping us maintain perspective and find meaning even in difficult seasons. As we continue to unpack these ideas, it's fascinating to see how they intersect with contemporary experiences. Many people report a sense of restlessness, a subtle urging to seek out more substantial forms of fulfillment beyond material pursuits. According to certain spiritual analysts, this aligns with the themes in ancient prophecy, where periods of global crisis often spark a renaissance of the soul. Rather than viewing these as harbingers of end times, we can interpret them as invitations to explore faith more deeply, fostering connections that sustain us through challenges. This approach not only builds resilience, but also promotes a vision of the future rooted in optimism and shared responsibility. Moreover, it's important to recognize that this journey isn't solitary, it's communal. In a world marked by division, many are finding that engaging with these timeless messages brings people together, creating spaces for dialogue and mutual understanding. For instance, discussions around biblical prophecy often lead to conversations about hope and renewal, while insights from other traditions highlight the universal quest for meaning. Some interpreters of End Times Explained point out that this shared exploration can bridge differences, encouraging a collective move toward healing and insight. By focusing on common ground, we can transform the narrative from one of isolation to one of interconnected growth. This leads us to a pivotal moment of reflection. Are we ready to embrace the lessons embedded in these ancient texts? Many believe that true discernment comes from consistent practice, from integrating spiritual principles into our everyday lives. It's not about overhauling everything at once, but about making small, intentional choices that align with a deeper sense of purpose. Spiritual awakening, as described by some, is a gradual process that unfolds through awareness and action, helping us navigate the complexities of the global crisis with a steady hand. Finally, as we conclude this exploration, let's anchor ourselves in the essence of living hope. In the midst of what is happening in the world, there's an abiding promise that faith can illuminate even the dimmest paths. Ancient prophecy and its echoes in our time remind us that every challenge carries the seed of renewal, urging us to look forward with anticipation rather than apprehension. Many find that by adopting this mindset, they discover a profound sense of peace and direction. So, what are your thoughts on these patterns? Do you sense a deeper significance in the events around us, or do they seem more random? Share your reflections in the comments. Your perspective might resonate with others seeking clarity. If you're interested in more on spiritual awakening, discernment, and faith and hope, subscribe to stay connected. Let's continue this journey toward a more hopeful tomorrow.